As part of our running as triathletes, one of the things that we really like, and it's quite subjective, is the feeling of rhythm and flow when we go running. You know, you want to avoid feeling heavy-footed, feeling tight. When we run at our best, often it's that sense that it almost feels effortless. You feel like you get into a good rhythm, everything feels fluid, ready to go. Now, one really interesting thing when it comes into strength training, and we've got a triathlete who we work with at the moment who actually commented on that recently, is as we develop strength in certain areas of the body, it can actually help improve our perception of feeling loose and having more flow when we run. So an example with this triathlete, he said that since doing his strength work, he started to realise during runs and immediately after runs, he was a lot less tighter through the front of his hips, so through his hip flexors, in and around his ITBs. Consequently, it felt like the quality of his running was much better. He could perform better, which he could because his 5k time improved, but also he didn't get that same degree of stiffness and tightness afterwards. Now, one of the reasons we actually say this happens is because as we develop strength in, say, for example, your gluteal muscles, what it enables us to be able to do is put ourselves in a position where we're not actually using the muscles through the front of our hips as much. So when you haven't got strength through your hip muscles in your posterior, your glute max muscle, your glute mean muscle, we see most triathletes will tend to run with a lot more demand and dominance through their hip flexors and their quadriceps. And because you're a lot more demanding through the muscles at your front of your body, what we call more of a front side runner, you're naturally going to fatigue quicker through that area because the muscles to the rear of your body, through your hips, your glutes, aren't helping support your body as much. So consequently, those muscles through the front fatigue quicker, they get tighter quicker, and also afterwards, because they've done more work, they're going to feel a lot tighter in hours and days afterwards. However, with your strength training, if you can target and use the right exercises to improve the strength through your buttocks and through those other areas linked in, for example, your hamstrings, what we tend to notice is that all of a sudden that tightness is suddenly reduced. People feel like they can run for longer without getting as tight, and they don't experience the same tightness through their hips after runs. And the reason being, and we base this again on really sound scientific theory and knowledge, is that because now we've got those hip muscles contributing to the other muscles that we've been using much more, the work is spread out more through the hips and the legs. So those muscles through the front of the legs and the hips aren't as in as much demand, don't get as tight, you can run looser, feel more rhythmic, and consequently run faster or run at the same speed for a lot longer.